Alright, so I want to talk. I got a couple of quick videos I want to put out, and I want to talk about the 10 worst killer perks in the game. And I want to mention this because they did give a slight rework to both Spies from the Shadows and Surveillance, and they were both on my last list. So, and just to let you know, killer perks was a lot harder for me to come up with 10. The last 3 choices I actually didn't want to put on here. So, the first one that I put on here, by the way, is, I think it was on the first page, Blood Warden. Blood Warden is coming in at number 10. Now, I like this perk. I like playing around it, but it is incredibly situational. And there were a lot of things. The in-game benefit that it provided had to have a lot of use to me as a killer and be able to be used on all the killers in the game. As an example, Noed is very good for every killer in the game. Hunter's Lullaby is good for every killer in the game. You know, even more situational things like Distressing is good because of the blood point bonus, and Distressing is good because it increases your terror radius, which goes well with certain other activations like Overwhelming Presence or Unnerving Presence. So Distressing does have a good amount of play around that. Talking about Blood Warden, I have Blood Warden at number 10. It does have good value, but at the end of the day, it's very situational, and they did remove the glitch where Blood Warden blocked off the hatch. That is for a friend of mine that I use Blood Warden on a lot, because he would try and get the hatch against me. So, I just wanted to mention, Blood Warden did get that little slight nerf with that bug being repaired. So, Blood Warden is now one of the worst perks in the game to run for killer. I have a sticky note here just to keep a couple of pointers. So the next one that I have is a very common one, Iron Grasp. Now, Iron Grasp is a bit of a crutch perk. Now, it is very annoying for a survivor to go up against, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you are going to hook them. You can still body block effectively. I did it yesterday with a friend of mine, and he got off the killer's shoulder with Iron Grasp 3, nonetheless. And I really don't see the value to this. Basically, this perk should have been released with the Clown because it counters Kate on Boil Over. I mean, really, it's not that great. I mean, the only thing is it increases the time to struggle out of the killer's draft by 12 seconds. It's a bit of a crutch for a killer, but in all honesty, it's not a good crutch perk. Like, Noed is a crutch perk because once you hit because basically it just lets you cut out a lot of the chase. You just hit the survivor once and you're done. For this, you have to down a survivor and then try and get them to a hook, and this just helps you with getting them to the hook. Doesn't help you keep them on a hook, and it doesn't help you get them on the hook in the first place. All it does is help you transport them easier. And I think Agitation, to be honest, is a better perk than this. So, that's why I have that there. Interesting perk that I have coming in at number 8 is Bloodhound. I have Bloodhound here because, yes, it's, blood marks are considerably more discernible and they can be tracked. So it does let you track a survivor that's bleeding very well. 2 things. 1, no mither. Survivors that are injured with no mither, this perk is shit. It's useless. You can get rid of it. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to run up into a lot of games with fucking 4 survivors running no mither, but if it happens, then you run this perk, you're fucked. Also, I do want to mention the fact that if they are able to heal, if they have an insta-heal medkit or something like that, or just really good healing speed, this is crap. They can just urban evasion they can just sprint burst out, urban evasion around a corner, heal up for like 2 seconds, and then they're gone. And now this perk is easily countered. I like the fact that, it's considerably more discernible, that it's like glows and it does track for longer. I just don't think it's that strong. And killers, this just goes to show you, killers do have a lot of strong perks, in my opinion, if that's the perks that I have. The next one that I have is rather interesting. I have Unrelenting at number 7. Now, Unrelenting, in my opinion, is a bit shit. Cooldown of missed attacks is reduced by 30%. I think it was stronger if it was at 50%. If instead it's scaled at, 50, 25, and 10%. I think that would make it a bit stronger, and maybe not on this list. But the problem is, 2 things. A, it is the cooldown of success. It does not affect the cooldown of successful attacks. B, it does not activate on powers. So, as an example, if you miss a chainsaw on Leatherface, you don't get it back sooner. If you miss your Feral Frenzies, you don't get them back sooner. I know they have their own stuff because they're killer powers, but specifically, it only works on one situation if you miss your attack. And you do not want to be missing an attack. Why are you running a card that makes you miss attacks less often? You want to confirm, not recover faster from missing. The next one that I have on the list is, oh, it's on the same page. Territorial Imperative. Now, I have this at number 6. I have this at number 6. Slightly better than my number 5, which is stronger, for the fact that this is a reveal ability. Survivors' auras are revealed to you when they are entering the basement more than 32 meters away. Now, there's a couple of reasons I don't like this perk. One, there is a 30-second cooldown on it, which I don't like. 2, you have to be 32 meters away from the basement. This is a bit of a problem for me because if you're hooking someone in the basement, more often than you're not really going that far away from the basement. I don't think it works well on Huntress. This works better on Pig with Make Your Choice. So you have Make Your Choice with the Territorial Imperative to know who's making the save, so that when Make Your Choice is activated, you can do that. That's about the only use for this I can do. Unless you really want to defend that fucking basement chest. Like, if you're running this perk just so that no one gets the chest out of the basement. That's stupid. I do like the fact that the aura is revealed and not the survivor location. It is a reveal effect. That's why I have it a little bit lower on the list of top 10 worst than I would normally have it. I have to find this other perk now. I never play it, so I never remember what it looks like. I don't think it's on this page. I think it's near... It's right around here, I think. Is it? Oh, it's here. That it? That's it. Okay. This is the boot I got. Predator comes in number 5. This is just too easily countered. Distortion counters it. Lightweight counters it. Dance with me or not. Yeah, Dance with me counters it. Urban Evasion counters it. It's not good. Scratch marks spawn closer together. Urban Evasion. Done. Okay, so the next worst perk that I have also on this page is Strider. I don't know why I like saying it that way. I honestly think this perk is just kind of bad. Breathing of survivors in pain is 50% louder. Now, you're better off with something like Bloodhound if you want to track a survivor in pain. That's an injured survivor. It does affect No Mither as well. I did want to mention that, because No Mither can reduce grunts of pain by up to 50%. So Tier 3 Strider kind of counters Tier 3 No Mither. And I like regular breathing is 25% louder. Unless you're like some weirdo that really likes hearing sweaty breathing in-game, like, I don't see why this is that valuable. Like, it is a poor man's whispers and a poor man's nurse's calling, and it's a nurse perk, which means you're fucking better off running nurse's calling. And by the way, nurse's calling 3 is about the same fucking radius that Strider 3 that, oh, it's louder and I can hear them. No! Run nurses, not this. Stupid. Speaking of nurses calling, at number 3 is Chlorophobia. This perk is shit. Survivors within your terror radius have a 50% penalty to healing progress speed. 2 reasons. A, this is supposed to make it longer for them to heal. For one thing, this does not account for an anti-hemorrhage syringe and all those insta-heal medkits and stuff like that. It doesn't account for a boost in healing speed, like Botanic Knowledge will make it, self-care with a medkit, etc. Sloppy Butcher is a better perk to run because you don't have to be in the killer's terror radius. This is only affects you if you are in the killer's terror radius. This means you need to run something like a Distressing in order to increase the damn terror radius so that you can fucking get the benefit out of it. The problem is, It doesn't do anything. It slows them down healing, but Sloppy Butcher gives you the same effect, and you don't have to have another fucking perk with this to make it good. That's the problem with this perk. You have to have it. And if you're trying to find the survivor, Spies from the Shadows, Nurse is Calling, I mean, come on. There's so much better than this. This is garbage. Alright, number 2 and number 1. We're gonna go with number 2 first. I think it's on this page. Is it not? I'm looking for... where is it? There we go. Hangman's Trick. Hangman's Trick no longer has a place right now. Because sabotaging doesn't really happen as often. You're not seeing people like running around constantly sabotaging everything in sight. Sabotage bear trap timers, repair timers reduced by 60 seconds. Whoop-de-fucking-do, you can destroy one with a toolbox. And as a side bonus, hooks destroyed by sabotage and sacrifice repairs are automatically repair after 10 seconds. Like, it counters, and you get a notification when they're doing it. Basically, this is the counterplay to a Jake perk. Oh no, you can run an Alex's toolbox with the add-ons. Who the fuck runs an Alex's toolbox with goddamn sabotage add-ons and goes around doing it? Hangman's Trick is so bad. There's only one other perk in the game for Killer that is worse than that, and it is Monstrous Shrine. Why the fuck are you trying to use this perk? Please stop. It basically makes it so that it takes away one of your hook escape opportunities away because of the increased penalty, and it makes it impossible to get off the hook without deliverance, and the entity comes by faster. The way I look at it is this: if I try and unhook myself once and I see that I lost half of that timer and I only have like this much left, I'm like, oh, they're running Monstrous Shrine. I'm not even going to bother because I'm not getting off. I'm just going to get ready to tap X rapidly. This is not effective because it only works if you are hooking someone on a certain fucking part of the map, which means you're tapping that part of the map. And if you want to get the most out of this, you have to run Iron Grasp and Agitation, which means you have nothing to slow the game down. The only way this is good is if you run fucking Noed, and you just wait for the survivors to get the gens done. Hit one person, put them in the basement, and you fucking camp them and say, ha! I have got you! My Monstrous Shrine will work! It's bullshit. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to keep them a bit shorter. Just a little bit of information as to why I think some of these perks are shit, and I don't think they should be run. We are having the Survivor one, and the Survivor one is going to be a bit lengthy. That's why I'm trying to cut this one pretty short. The Survivor one's going to be a bit longer, because that one took me a little bit more thought than this one did. This one was actually pretty easy, just because killers do have a lot of perks that have some form. You know, Remember Me. I was considering putting Remember Me, but it is useful in certain situations. If you are playing kind of an obsession build on Mike Myers, I think this is very strong alongside Play With Your Food and Save the Best for Last. I think this works incredibly well at slowing the end game scenario. So, you know, there's a couple of other perks on here. I thought about, you know, maybe Fire Up should go on here, maybe Deerstalker, but they do have their uses. That's why I couldn't put them on the list, because killers do actually have stronger perk types. It's just there are a few that are just so much better than the rest. As an example, something like Thanatophobia, Ruin, Make Your Choice. These are all perks. Noed. These are all perks that all really are just so overpowered and strong that they're known for as killer perks, and the rest that are really good but may only have a situational use get left at the wayside. And I didn't want to put those situational ones in because as a killer, most of those scenarios will come up in a game for you. So, enjoy.